Hello. Welcome back to another D-Man the Defenders video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a tier list for this game, specifically a PvP tier list. This is easily my most requested video. I was meaning to hopefully do it on PowerPoint because it'll be a lot easier, like if it's visual, that way you guys can clearly see it. But for now, this is all I can do. When I say PvP, that does include Hellas Abyss as well, meaning that they'll be good here. But this is not for a campaign or for like genies coming or any PvE. But it is like for PvP. I don't have time. I have tried it. Like I've shot this thing. This is like my 23rd take. I have like tried to fit in a lot of it, but I can't go over the weapons. But they do need their weapons for them to be in the tier that they're in, and there is, I guess, 6 tiers, but really there's only 4. The 4 main ones is the good tier, or C, the great tier, or B, and the best tier, or A, and the god tier, or S. The remaining 2 is like the other tier, which is just basically people I don't mention, and the honorable mentions. This is just one man's opinion, so please take this like with a grain of salt. There will be a lot of controversy. I can already tell already, but this is just, like I said, just my opinion. And please, guys, I know I've never asked you guys this, but if you could please share this video with a lot of people, or with whoever you can, like your alliance members, or just like whatever, because I believe this video will help a lot of people, especially the new people stepping into the game. Anyways, let's get started with the first person on the list here for the good tier, which is Constantine. Constantine is really, his damage is like lacking. He doesn't have much defenses at all, but he does have this wind guard, which makes him a very good opener and a good assistant for the sun tier. So he buffs up everybody on the sun tier like one by one. So as long as you open with him, you can provide like 40% dodge for like Valkyrie, Thor, Guardian, just everybody on that's on the sun. Moving on, there's Jane of Arc, wherever she is here. She just barely makes it on because she's more of like a nuisance than anything else. She doesn't have that high of a damage or anything like that. And what she's supposed to do, she's supposed to be like a good blocker in a counterattack, but she barely does that well. Combined with her weapon, she does get like a little bit more healing, because whenever she counter strikes, she gets additional healing and stuff like that, but that's through her weapon, right? A lot of stuff I might say is through their weapon, so you guys have to keep that in mind. But she just barely makes it on. I only added her on because I had added on the next person here, who is also just barely making it on, which is Nietzsche. The only reason why Nietzsche's here is just because of his healing. It pretty much lasts forever, even though it's last 5 rounds, but there's hardly anybody that's like, nobody's lasting 5 rounds, right? So it's basically on. So just the fact that like he can heal a little bit of his damage that he takes, like combined with like high gear and all that kind of stuff, does make him slightly bit tanky, but not really. Like he's just barely on there. And next person up on there, I guess, would be Blackhawk. And again, he's like, he would be the first one to go off this list. Definitely, for sure. The only reason why you have him there is just because it's been talked about a lot, but no one even knows if this thing even works. But like in the Discord chat, like since I started playing the game, I'm sure it does. But basically, whenever your allies that's on the Moon faction, whenever they get reduced life to 50%, they gain they gain increased attack. But anyone that gets to like close to 1 million rating will quickly get rid of Black Hawk because there's just no room on your team for it. But he just has to be there. And if he is on there, I suggest you put him last because I'm guessing that these abilities, they don't work if the person is dead. So a lot of people, they open with him or they have him like in the middle or somewhere. I would keep him like dead last or close to like the very back. Anyways, this next one here is going to be very, very, very controversial. I can already tell, but is Freddy. Freddy is such an amazing hero. Like combined with like everybody else on the team, he is like he's absolutely amazing. Like, but just as a standout hero, he would be by himself in the good tier, simply because every all of his moves only happen once. Like his blazing claws does like okay damage, but then it provides a reincarnation, which is really really like extremely good, right? Every single person and their mother uses Freddy simply because of this reincarnation and this paralyzing poison here. I'm pretty sure this can only happen once, but don't quote me on that. Where it reduces the person's attack, and it definitely reduces it by more than 48%. Because I go from critting like 38k to not even 3k like crit, like I'm like with my Thor when this is on me. So I don't know why it says like it basically might as well say reduce attack by like 88% or something like that. But I know the deadly poison is only happens once where it bleeds the target and until they die and they cannot heal or anything like that. So that's why his kit is just once, like everything just happens once, and then after that he's just there just to tank up damage. But don't get me wrong, he would be the first person to leave this to easily go into the great tier, but by himself he's not, like by himself as a standout hero he's not really like that good at all. But he would be in the next tier though, like easily. Anyways, the next tier, that's it for the good tier. Um, that's it for the good tier. And we're going to be moving on to the great tier. And the great tier, the first one up is Thor. Um, Thor is used to be, when he first came out, he would be possibly in the god tier, but definitely in the best tier. But now that he's been nerfed time and time again, he is just not as good as he once was. But he's definitely a very good hero though. He has a guaranteed heal, which used to be only by chance. It used to be 30% chance, but now it's like a guaranteed for the first two attacks or something like that uses Quake. And he heals for a lot. Like he heals quite a bit. He's very tanky. He's a very tanky hero, and as well as he can do a surprising amount of like damage. So he does like very good. He does good damage. He's tanky and he heals. That's why he's on the great tier, and he's very easy to get as a hero. The next one up would be Hanzo. Hanzo is a great example of like a person that needs his weapon, right? A person that needs his weapon. Same with Thor actually. That's where some of his heal comes from too. Thor, I believe. I'm not sure, but Hanzo needs his weapon because it adds 60% dodge. But the reason why he's here and not like the tier above is just simply because of like whenever he uses his focus fire with his weapon, he gains 60% dodge, right? And then when he enters the battle, he gains 40%. So he basically almost has 100%. Not almost. He does have 100% chance to go to dodge if you enter the battle and then use your focus fire like right away. But his dodge is just less reliable. Like, but he does a lot of damage. Like whenever he dodges, like he does damage. He does damage to the opponent, but he does a considerable amount of damage, and he's an overall like great hero. Thor, at the end of the day, Thor would be better than him, but that's just my opinion. Then next person up is Guardian. Guardian 6 here. I fought this guy like a fully maxed out one, like before they made like 13 stars. When he was just like a 12 star. He's a very tanky hero, and that's why he's here. His damage is pretty decent as well. But just the fact that he's tanky and he can take hits, that's very, very important in this game. You have to be, either have to be able to heal, or you have to be able to take a lot of damage or do a ridiculous amount of damage in order to, if you can't do either, right? Or be able to attack lots to be useful in this game. And he does that. Like he tanks a lot, and yeah, and he's a great survival. His whole kit is just based on uh, blocking and doing damage while blocking, and with his weapon too. Keep that in mind. The next one up would be Genie here. Genie does a lot of damage, but he doesn't have too much. He doesn't have any defenses. Like he doesn't have any defenses, but he does a crazy amount of damage, and he can stop you from using like your rage abilities too. I believe if you read his weapon, not from his kit, but he does do an enormous amount of damage, way more than anybody in the good tier. That's why he's in the great tier. But um, but that's it. He doesn't have any defenses, so he just whatever damage he takes sticks, and then that's basically it. The next one up is Scorpio. Scorpio is a very like she's an amazing hero. Back in the day when I used to verse people that mained like the Moon faction, I would always lose. Like every time yeah, I would just always lose to anybody that like had a maxed out Scorpio because of her weapon. She heals, and because of her her rage ability, she also heals as well. And yeah, she just has too much healing. She has a lot of damage, and she's quite annoying. Um, and she's quite annoying to face. But yeah, she does very decent damage, and she can survive a lot. The next one up would be another very controversial one. I can I can tell is the Grim Reaper. Uh, she and the next hero would be easily be able to move up to the next tier. Her kit is so amazing. Like she has such an amazing kit. The only thing that she's lacking is just like she just dies. She just gets destroyed. The more that the game becomes more about the high damage and stuff like that, she will die. But if you manage, like, there's some people that's there's some people that have like maxed out like their meditation space is so good where the armor gives like triple the amount of HP that it does when it starts. Then she comes in, but her blood scythe being able to heal, that's like 25% drain in HP. That's a lot of life, and it's guaranteed to happen every like yeah, like it's guaranteed to happen for as long as whatever, right? And then she has a hit rate, making her a great counter for Valkyrie, and as well as I don't even know what this one does, but either way. Oh, and she buffs up the other teammates. She buffs up your other teammates. So like for example, her, Freddy, and Billy Kid make such an amazing team together because Billy Kid's all about critting, and she provides a lot of crit. Like she's easily the next person to move up to like the best tier, but she just doesn't cut it because she can die. Um, she can die relatively easy, but if it's like two people on equal grounds, like they're both like a million rated and not like they don't have like crazy damage, she would she would be in the best tier easily. So like it almost makes me sad to put her in the great tier, but with each new patch that comes up, she does go higher. She does go higher up. But anyways, the next one up would be Cleopatra, the one I do not have. She again, I have not seen her in battle, but I've read her kit. It's a very unique kit. The Moon faction have the best, like, their abilities is so unique, and they work so well together. But she basically seals people from like using their abilities and from assisting. Like, you know, when they pop to the side and they attack, that's they only do that when they're level 11, by the way. Your characters have to be level 11. Like, you have to awaken them at least once for them to pop to the side, but she stops that, right? The only reason why I put her in the great tier and not necessarily like the best tier, even though we've not seen her in battle, is that it seems to only happen like one time, like once or like three times or this or that. And it's like there's a lot of randomness. And I've seen people use it on me, and it's never once gone on a good hero that I've cared about. It always goes on like a useless hero that it doesn't really matter, that doesn't even have the ability to pop out to the side, right? Like, so it'll pop out, like, it'll happen on somebody that doesn't even have the ability. Like, if they were to change it to this effect only works on like other, like, you know, 11 stars or 12 stars or 13 stars, it would be a lot more effective, right? But she seems like her, but who knows though, like who knows when you get her geared up and like and with her weapon. I haven't even read her weapon yet, so that's, maybe I should have done that. But like, if somebody was going to move up to the next tier, it would definitely be either the Reaper or Cleopatra. But for now, she is the last one on she's the last one on the great tier. Now we're moving up to the best tier. There's only three people here on the best tier, and the first one, you guys can probably already guess, is Valkyrie. I don't really need to go into like how good Valkyrie is. Like, everybody knows. Um, she's such, like, she's an amazing hero, right? Like, the more she dodges, the more she has a chance to dodge. She heals when she dodges, so the more she dodges, she heals and she does damage due to like her weapon as well. So basically, you want to get her dodging. That's why she pairs so well up with Constantine, right? Um, but whenever she dodges, she heals, and whenever what's him call it? Whenever she dodges, she gets an increased chance to dodge, and she can go on living forever. Like, she can start the match at 100% life, go all the way down to 10%, and work her way up back up to 100% before the match ends. Like, her damage is like a medium amount, but it's okay though, because she gets, as long as she gets the chance to do her thing, she does her thing very well. Um, and you can increase her dodge like quite high too, with her weapon, with like refining and everything like that. But anyways, the next one up is King Tut. Um, King Tut, I had him at level 12, like awakened, and he is an amazing hero. The only reason, like, if he just had like, he doesn't need anything else. So I'm not like, I shouldn't even say it, but I was gonna say, like, if he just had like a tiny bit more, he would be in the god tier. But unfortunately, he's he's only able to go up, no matter how strong you make him. He's only able to go up in the best tier simply because, like, um, yeah, simply because he just, like, he'll die, like, he'll die in one hit. It's very possible. But if you do gear him up well, and he is like fully geared, maxed out everything, his kit is amazing. And the best thing about his kit is that it just goes on and on and on. Like, it can keep happening over and over and over. There's no limit to what he does. Every time he steals, due to his weapon too, whenever he steals rage, he gets reduced damage by like 40%. So, and like, basically he steals your rage and he gains the rage, and then he's able to keep using his move. Like, he's able to keep using his move, and then every time he gets hit, he has a chance to put nightmare on a random person, which prevents them. So, for example, if this goes on, like, your Billy Kid, and like and your Billy Kid has like the Death Stone, like, he won't start with the two rage that he does, right? Like, he won't be able to use it, and it stacks. For example, this can go on Billy Kid, like the same Billy Kid, like three times, which means for 3 turns, when Billy Kid comes out, he won't be able to use his rage, right? So this is such, like, nobody has his kit. Nobody has his kit. The closest person to it would be Cleopatra, but again, we haven't seen her. And Cleopatra, they put a limit to what she is, right? But this guy has no limit. The longer he stays alive, and because of his weapon, he has a good chance of staying alive too. Once he gets going, he can be such a nuisance. He can put this nightmare on everybody on your team. Um, but anyways, the next person up is Azora. Azora here is in the best here. He is one like something like if he had like some sort of like not evasion or like sort of a glancing ability to like glance attacks or something like that or just something, but he doesn't. But if he just had something or a bit more guarantee on his slashes, um, even though you might say 60% chance to happen again, like you know, like it's pretty good, right? Um, but anyways, I think due to his maybe his weapon he heals or something. I don't know, but his kit is like all about killing and like he's I used to be stuck on Hellas Abyss, like on I forgot what level, like 300. Like everybody gets stuck on that level, it's like 320 or something like that. As soon as I got stuck, I switched over to not as soon as I was stuck for a long time. I was using Thor as my main, but I took all the gems off of Thor, like decommissioned his weapon, decommissioned him, and leveled up Azora. And I was easily, like, without no challenge at all, easily being able to pass um, like that level that everybody was stuck on Hell's Abyss. He can take down somebody from 100 to 0 with just a tiny bit of luck. The only thing is he relies too much on luck. Sometimes it's so frustrating when he'll go and he just like attacks once and just does one slash and he dies and then that's it. And he needs to be able to crit as well. So like if he just had something else he would be able to go up into the next tier, but he just doesn't. He just dies. And then we're moving up. That's it. Those are the three for the best tier: Valkyrie, King Tut, and Zora. So we're gonna be moving up to the God tier or the S class. You guys can easily tell like in no particular order, but I'm just going to say number one. You guys already know Iris. There's no way that she wasn't going to be in the God tier. Um, Everything, her whole entire kit just like screams death. Like she kills everybody. She has such a great defense. She lasts like forever because any damage that you do to her doesn't like she can't die in one hit, right? Like well, that's not true, right? Like there's just Tisha and Billy Kid, right? Can kill her. Um, yeah, but anyways, I could spend the whole video talking about Ares, but when I make the more detailed video, I will. But you guys already know how good she is. Next up would be Harmonia. Again, you guys know how good she is. Like she has the most life in the game. She's immune to bleed. She's an excellent opener. She has guaranteed heal, and her damage whenever she uses her divine I guess divine sky, she prevents people from healing, which is a huge thing. Sometimes it's the only way to stop Grim Reaper, because sometimes Grim Reaper can take down everybody until Harmonia comes to play, or Iris, or like or sometimes Azora can take down the Grim Reaper. But she has a very high damage, and you don't need to gear damage on her, right? You just need to gear HP because her HP turns into damage. Like she has crazy amount of health, like the most health in the game. I could talk about her for the whole video, like an hour straight. But anyways, the next person is fairly new to the game, is Justicia. She is like she is a monster. She has such high damage that she has basically like no defenses. Like she does have like a heal that she does like she restores like 10% of her life. I think her last bit or her like weapon gives her a bit of healing or something like that. But she's an assassin. Like she kills. The lower your life, the more damage that she does. So like when you're at 80%, she attacks more, and then when you're at 50% or something. And then even her weapon ability is when the person's below like 30%, she pops out and like executes them, right? And it's not a guarantee, but like it does do like an amazing damage. And like she's very very easy to gem for because she gems the same way as like Thor would, pretty much. Um, she does very well with like the time one, 4-piece time and 2-piece storm. But she kills Ares. Ares needed. She was that good. They need to create an entire hero just to kill Ares. But obviously, if she's good at killing Ares, she's good at killing everybody. She doesn't really have any counter except for Ares, which is kind of funny. Because versus anybody else, she can out heal the damage that she takes, but the matches don't last that long because she just destroys everybody. The only good thing is nobody really has her except for like the people at the very very top. Anyways, the next person up, as you guys, is like my favorite hero, Billy Kid here. Uh, Billy Kid, like, again, I could spend like whatever, everything about this guy. Like, even though this is 60% chance, like his moves, the death dance is 60% chance to go. Same with like Azora's, but this is so much more consistent than Azora's because he always attacks at least twice, no matter what. Because once, like, let's say this doesn't proc, right? Like he uses 2 rage and only attacks once. What's him call it? Hit the soul bullet will always go off anyways, and it cannot be evaded, right? So no matter what, every time he attacks, he always attacks twice if he uses his death dance. And after he dies, the best part about him is that he uses his, I call it wrath but I know it's not pronounced that, but yeah, it's basically like his wrath ability. I swear they've nerfed this. It says that it ignores defense. I think that's complete bull. Um, because this thing was critting like near 1 million, and now on the same target it crits for like 300k. So I don't know why they lie. They lie right to our faces. But anyways, even with that nerf, he's still easily he is way it used to be when he came out. It used to be like who do you level, Azora or Billy Kid? Hands down, Billy Kid, no matter what. In any case, yeah, Billy Kid is definitely the way to go. The only time you would ever level up Azora over Billy Kid is if you're still working on the Hellas Abyss, like you're absolutely stuck. In that case, because Hellas Abyss, like Azora can keep going from one fight to the next fight to the next fight to the next fight, but not so much Billy Kid. But Billy Kid is like the silence that he has due to his weapon. The silence that he has due to his weapon is so amazing. So he'll die. Ares will kill him, but then when he procs this, like he comes back to life and then shoots Ares, which often takes her to below that 30% threshold where Ares will heal back up, like with his Dark Guardian, and it prevents her from healing, which is a huge thing. It prevents her from from healing. Yeah, but anyways, after Billy Kid is Ramesses. Ramesses 2. This guy here, I was gonna put him in the best tier, but that would have done him a disservice. Like, especially with this new patch where you can, with the meditation space, it has brought this guy to another new level. Like, this guy is the only true beast in the game. Like, he's an animal in the game, and he's a monster. Like, this, I can't say like if I knew meditation space was going to come up, I would honestly have switched over to like the Moon faction a long time ago. But now it's way way too late for me to do that. Like, it's way too late for me to do that. But this guy, like, the fact that he comes back to life, and when he comes back to life, it doesn't say, but when he comes back to life, he stuns the opponent for 2 turns. Like, But this reincarnation though, and it does kill him too. I don't know why it doesn't say that either. Like when he comes back to life, he self destructs. Like every turn he loses like HP, like he like kills himself. So he can only be alive for so long. But the thing is, he does so much damage that whoever kills him, they're gonna die. Like there's like I say that because like Ares will often kill him, right? Let's say like he pops out and Ares kills him, like one hit, boom, does like 1,000,000 damage, right? Which tends to happen all the time. He'll come back up and 100 to 0 Ares, no problem. Like this was the original Ares killer, but the reason why it's made after the patch, why he's become so much stronger, is because the life. This guy like it was like, okay, what do you gear on this guy, right? Because he needs to get out his move here, he needs to get out his radiance to stun people, right? But now that because you can get so much life, like because you can increase the HP on your life, like on the, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, like the gear, like the gear here, right? Like, you know, it's like 102, like 102,000, right? But when you first get it, um, it's only what, it's only 44,000, right? Like but some people they've increased theirs to like 180,000, like 180,000, like from just the armor, not counting the life that they get from the boots and everything. That because of that, it's made Ramses 2 like possibly the best hero in the entire game, like just because of that. Because you can gem up him, like if you put four piece elemental, where he heals 10% of his HP when he gets below 30%, right? But that 30% life is often more life than other people, like just because of how, like people's 100%, like his life goes up like I don't know. But in order to get to that high though, right, you have to obviously spend a ridiculous amount of the game. And if you're already spending that much, like, you know, who's your competition, right? But anyways, he can live forever if you put elemental, the four-piece elemental on him. Yeah, he can live forever, and that's basically it. Like that's basically it for the tier list there. So the god tier is Ares, Harmonia, Justicia, Billy Kid, and Ramesses 2. Then the best tier is Valkyrie, King Tut, and Azora. And the great tier is Thor, Hanzo, Guardian 6, Genie, Scorpio, and the Grim Reaper, and Cleopatra. And keep in mind, Grim Reaper and Cleopatra could easily move up. We don't know about Cleopatra yet. And the good tier is Joan of Arc, Constantine, Nietzsche, and Freddy, and I guess Blackhawk. And again, Freddy shouldn't really be there in the good tier, but he is because as a standalone hero. And I guess the honorable mentions is definitely Gypsy here. I don't know how much time I have, but I'll try to go simply because when she comes to this, she can silence. She silence for 3 turns, right? So you don't need to gear her or anything like that. She just comes onto the stage. She'll silence whoever. She'll go first, right? Like she'll go first. She'll silence, and then after, like this move procs first, just like do you know when Freddy comes to the stage, his deadly poison procs before he does anything else, even before, it doesn't matter how much speed you have in the game, right? It doesn't matter if you have like 1,000,000,000 speed, Freddy always will put this deadly poison on you. That's the same way that Gypsy's what's even called it, divine, will automatically go on you regardless of how much speed you have. So she'll silence, so she can come to the game, silence the Freddy, and then she'll die, right? Because she has no gear, no weapon, no nothing. She'll die right away, and then whoever's next has 2 turns to kill Freddy before Freddy gets his reincarnation out. So yeah. And then the other person I was going to mention, which I guess I really might not need to is Blackbeard, simply because of quick shot. This is a very underrated move. It's not so much of PvP, but it's more so of like PvP, like in the Hellas Abyss, because this thing can continuously has a chance to continuously fire, like over like 50% chance to continuously fire over and over and over and over. It's like, so sometimes I would be stuck on Hellas Abyss and I would just put this guy in, like somebody that like Hanzo or Thor couldn't even take down. Then this guy, I'll level him up and then he'll come and then boom, kills him just by chance though, right? And then he would just be there just for that one guy. That's it. And then and even though this is not the video for it, Leif Erikson is a very good for PvE. I just wanted to throw that in there, even though he'll be in the PvE tier list eventually whenever I get to that. And the other person I really want to mention quickly is Cassius. He is so close, like so close to being somebody, like so close, like yeah, like he has a chance to stun whenever he uses like his ability there for one turn. He has takes reduced damage and has a chance to increase, or I mean, has a chance to heal himself. And I think this is where he reduces damage. No, his weapon makes him reduce damage, but he takes less damage. He has a chance to heal, and he has a chance to stun, and he has a chance to double attack. And he can keep doing it over and over, right? But he's just not there. His damage, I know it has great numbers, like 260% or like 200% and stuff. It has great numbers, but it's just not there. And the stun is only for one turn, and it's only 30%. If it was for like 2 turns and 30%, like it would make a huge difference. But that's basically it for the honorable mentions. Everybody else is like pure garbage. Like, that's the other people left I didn't mention. They're not even, yeah, they're not even worth mentioning. Keep in mind that Joan of Arc and Nietzsche was very close, and Blackhawk especially. He would be the first one to go, like, or Nietzsche. Like, anyways, that's it for this tier list. I really hope that it helped. I will be making a separate video on all four, and hopefully this, like, I don't have to remake like take number 24. Anyways, guys, please share this video with as many people as you possibly can, so I do believe that it can help people. And thank you very much for watching.